Hi, welcome to Skullworthy. I'm Matt.
I'm Tiffany.
And today we're talking about Mary Ann Cotton.
Also known as the Black Widow.
Stay tuned.
Mary Ann Cotton. She is also known as the Black Widow. She was born October 31st, 1832 in England. She is known as one of the very first female serial killers. However, there were female serial killers before her that killed in the same way that she did. But she's written down as the one that is known as the first. In her childhood, I give you a little background. Her father fell down a 150-foot down a mine shaft and died. She left home at 16 to become a nurse. In 1852, she married William Mowbray. They had 8 to 9 children. All but 3 had died from gastric fever.
8 to 9 children, though. I just don't understand. What's the gap there? Do they have a half a child?
No. At the time this was happening, it was back in the 1800s, so documentation was scarce.
So we have limited information.
Yeah, a lot of this is speculation, but most of it's kind of known, but not all of it. But 3 survived. That's what matters. 3 survived.
To be killed later?
Yes.
Oh.
Gastric fever is something that had similar symptoms to arsenic poisoning, but because of the lack of technology, it was really hard to differentiate between this gastric fever or flat-out murder. So in 1864, Mowbray also died from this gastric fever. Soon after, 2 of those 3 children suffered the same fate. Life insurance was collected by Mary, of course, and the one surviving daughter was left in the care of Mary's mother. In 1865, Mary ended up working as a hospital nurse and married a patient by the name of George Ward. George died the next year, and Mary received his insurance money. Do you see a trend? Because I'm seeing a trend.
We're only like halfway through her death toll, right? Mm-hmm. So the coincidences get even better.
And at this point, not only has she killed off all of her children, but she's ending up having 2 more with a new guy.
You can only claim life insurance on them once.
That is true.
Can't kill them twice.
But my thing is, you've seen that she's had this many children die, and you still want to marry her, and also some of your children had died in her presence. She had to be charming. In 1866, she became a housekeeper for James Robinson, who was also widowed with 5 children. Ironically, in the same year, one of his children died from gastric fever as well. In 1867, while she was still with Robinson, her mother became unwell. She went home to take care of her mother, but then the next week her mother died. And then took her one surviving daughter and ended up moving in with James Robinson that had the 5 kids and his now 4 kids. In 1867, Mary's surviving daughter from the very first marriage and 2 more of his children, her stepchildren, also passed. If speculation wasn't already surrounding Mary by this time, which it absolutely should have, she ended up speaking to a local official. She was talking to him about how she could not marry John Quick Manning because of her stepson. I don't know what her stepson had to do with it, but he was what she was complaining about. His name is Charles Edward Cotton. He was 7 years old. She then claimed to the same official these words, "I won't be troubled long," possibly also adding, "He will go like all the rest of the Cottons." The stepson ended up dying, obviously, and the official went to the police. The official also went to the doctors and asked him to delay the death certificate. Some accounts say that the jury agreed the child died as a result of natural causes, with Mary claiming the official had made it all up because she had refused his advances. Samples from the boy's autopsy were kept for some reason, and they were taken and retested. Arsenic was said to be found in the boy's stomach as well, at which time they ended up exhuming Natris, her previous lover, and 2 other children of hers, and also found arsenic as the cause of their death. Mary was then charged with the murder of her 7-year-old stepson. Why she wasn't charged with everything, I'm not sure. She may have been, but again, documentation is iffy. March 24th, 1873, Mary was executed at approximately 41 years of age, 21 years after what was believed to be her first murder. And studying this, I didn't find how she got it into her victims. That is my question.
Her delivery method.
Yeah, did she put it in their food?
If she was doing end-to-end food prep, say she was cooking the food and everything, and also making the plates, she could go to the extent of setting the table and doing everything for months or years or whatever prior to that so that it doesn't seem odd, and then one day, one dinner, that's the one she decides is it, and she slips a little something. She puts out her food on her plate and does theirs last and puts the poison in there, mixes it up, and then puts their, you know.
But then again, I guess it goes